But I've been trying to get in touch with the Red Cross, and the people on the ground here that deal with the hostages when they come in are saying that none of them have come here. So it's unclear on that front either what's happening. Are they being debriefed? Is there some kind of an emergency triage area around the Westgate Mall? They're saying there was only one woman that came here, and she was walking, she was okay, she had been inside the mall, and a Japanese friend or counterpart just took her away quickly. So that's the only update on the hostage front. So it's unclear exactly what the situation is there or who could have slipped out.
Yeah, Zane, in terms of the strength of numbers of the remaining attackers, we know, well, the government says that 2 were killed in the last day, on Monday, they said, and I think 1 was killed early on in it. So what does that leave? Anywhere from, what, 10 to 15, do we know?
We don't know. They haven't given us more specific information than that. They're still sticking to 10 to 15 gunmen with a couple of casualties. Also, it was interesting in the press conference that they said gunmen, because there are many eyewitness accounts of there being women with arms and shooting inside the mall. There are a couple of sources that I have spoken to that indicate that CCTV is being analyzed of a white woman brandishing a gun inside the mall. Now, it's unclear who she may be or what exactly the situation is, but there are so many things the Kenyans are dealing with. There's an unfolding situation inside the mall. There are concerns about the hostages. There are so many arms of security and government from different countries, different local agencies, all trying to coordinate. But it appears as though this could be a clearing up, if not a last push. So it's not fully over yet from where my vantage point is.
World leaders have begun to gather in New York for the 68th session of the UN General Assembly. They would certainly be alert to a host of salient matters like serious chemical weapons, the Middle East peace process, and the deadly siege unfolding right now in Kenya. The UN General Assembly will also hear from Iran's new president. But even before he arrives, Hassan Rouhani has made a very public invitation to U.S. President Barack Obama on Twitter. Here's what the cleric said, I quote, "The Iranian nation is ready to have a dialogue with the West, provided there is no precondition for talks, and it's based on equal footing and mutual respect." Mr. Rouhani says that an official meeting with President Obama is not yet on the agenda, but he is not ruling it out. Reza Sia has more.
In the streets of Tehran, something Iranians have long been craving.
It's in the air. You could feel it.
Optimism.
To be honest with you, we have a lot of hope.
Anticipation.
That maybe, just maybe, after more than 3 decades, the U.S. and Iran will end their bitter rivalry.
Here's the man who sparked the optimism, Iran's new president, Hassan Rouhani. In an unprecedented charm offensive, Rouhani has pushed for better relations with Washington, exchanged letters with President Obama, released 11 political prisoners, and tweeted Happy New Year to the world's Jewish population.
So far, he has done much more than we expected.
President Rouhani also has played his cards very well in the sense that he is using the right language at a very appropriate time.
And Iranians seem to like it. He's a good man, says Paris. I'm happy with him. I'm 99% sure things will be better, says Sayed Ali Akbar. I can just feel it.
This is Tehran's famous bazaar. If you want to get the pulse of this country, this is where you come.
The Hayatis have been in business for 6 decades. The last time Iran and the U.S. had diplomatic relations, Ali wasn't even born.
I want to see Mr. Rouhani and Mr. Obama sit in front of each other and speak about life.
The men at House of Persian Carpets hope Rouhani is the key to ending decades of economic sanctions against Iran.
We believe that 2 nations, Iranian and American, they realize that they need each other, they like each other, and they feel that is the right time to get together and to start
talking at least.
100%. I want to see better relations so we can live a little easier, says barber Hassan Ahmadi. Not everyone at the barber shop is optimistic. Hoshbach says nothing has changed. She still plans to leave Iran so her son can have a better future. I want him to have a good education, a good life, she says. I don't think you can get anywhere here in Iran. But Omid, who's one day away from the first day of school, has other ideas. I want to stay. My friends are here, says Omid, whose name in Farsi means hope.
We've been pretty much talking to Iranians all day, and we only found one person who wasn't optimistic. Everyone else hopeful that Tehran and Washington can improve relations, but they're also realistic that 34 years of mistrust isn't going to disappear overnight. Reza Sayah, CNN, Tehran.
And now we turn to the verdict in the trial of Bo Xilai, a former rising star of the Chinese Communist Party. The reports emanating from a source with direct knowledge of the case speak of Bo filing an appeal. The former high-ranking Chinese politician was found guilty of bribery and corruption on Sunday. He was sentenced to life in prison. CNN's David Mackenzie reminds us how we got here.
Flanked by security, a judge sentenced Bo to life in prison, convicted for bribery, embezzlement and abuse of power. In a country where the party controls the courts, a guilty verdict was never in question. Still, it's a spectacular downfall for Bo. Once a rising star of the Communist Party, a princeling, close to reaching the untouchable ranks of power. A charismatic leader of megacity Chongqing.
Bo Xilai was unique. I mean, he was not a dull party hack, the way I think 99% of party officials are.
But undone by a salacious scandal of murder, betrayal and corruption. Stripped of his party credentials and vanished from view, Bo resurfaced at his trial, every bit the maverick politician he had been. Gripped by transcripts released on social media, Chinese followed every twist and turn. The villas in France, safes full of cash, the sordid soap opera of Communist Party elite, and the violence that came with it. Bo verbally assaulted me, then grabbed my nose, said Bo's former Chongqing police chief. He told me to take back my words. Then he came over and punched me. Throughout the trial, Bo Xilai denied all the charges. He admitted some mistakes, but took little responsibility for a scandal that rocked the Communist Party to its core. For China's President Xi Jinping, it's been a true test. Xi has made fighting corruption his priority. He needed to look firm against Bo, heal the rifts in the party, and move on.
Welcome back. Hapapa Football Club were 1-0 winners over August Town of Kanifing Estate in the ongoing Serekunda West Nawetan football tournament. Gaston Mendes' 14th minute spot kick was enough to hand the Latrikunda outfit all 3 points. Momodu S. Jalo reports.
The Serekunda West Mini Stadium was filled to capacity as Hapapa Football Club take on Nawetan New Boys August Town of Kanifing in a thrilling encounter. The two sides started the game with a high tempo, playing some attacking football. The deciding moment of the game came quarter way into the first period when Gaston Mendy got the better of Pao Sule Diba, and he was brought down in the box in front of central referee Omar Sedikan, who wasted no time in pointing to the spot. Gaston Mendy stepped up and converted the penalty in the 14th minute to give his side a 1-0 lead. August Town came close to equalizing, but Malan Jata missed a sitter in front of goal where he was locking. Hapapa dominated proceedings in the first half, looking to extend their lead, but the August Town's defense reorganized themselves very well after giving away the penalty and leaked no further goals before the halftime break. Referee Omar Sedikan got proceedings in the second half underway, with August Town chasing the game. Coach Idrissa Sala of August Town quickly injected some fresh legs onto the pitch, bringing on both Omar Lau, Modu Sise and Herbert Robinson to strengthen his side and push for an equalizer. Her papa's goalkeeper was the busiest of the two goalkeepers, making series of saves, twice denying Musa Barrow.